AQA Love and Relationships, Grade 9 Essay Plan Series, Episode 3. Today we'll be looking at follower versus climbing my grandfather. Now, over the last couple of weeks, I've been writing up some unique essay plans for you as a free resource, and these I personally used as well and got me full marks in the poetry section, so I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. Now, this is the structure of the comparative essay plan. There are always 2 lines of argument, and there are 2 subpoints to these lines of argument. So you can view the 2 lines of argument as 2 separate paragraphs, and the subpoints are within them. So let's begin with our first line of argument. Now, this is that both poets explore loving relationships with the older generation. Let's look at the subpoints for this line of argument. So there are 2 subpoints. Both share extended metaphors of sports to reiterate the active nature of their relationship. So climbing my grandfather is the activity, and it connotes something that's steady, reliable, admirable, because he views his grandfather as a mountain with lots of wisdom. Um, and in terms of follower, there's the metaphor of sailing, which is in follower, in his shoulders globed like a full sail strung, which is really interesting. It shows how in both relationships, both climbing and sailing, there's a sense of activity and, nature. Now, the second subpoint to this line of argument is that the child's references to their respective parent or grandparent indicates the power dynamic. So, in Follower, the title itself highlights the power imbalance between the stumbling son and the perfectionist father. And expert, the quote expert, also suggests that there's experience and a sense of authority. So hopefully you can see how both of these subpoints, we talk about the active part of it and we talk about how the child views their parent or grandparent, both of them explore the loving relationship with the older generation. So now let's move on to our second line of argument, which you should put in another paragraph. So the second line of argument is that the relationship is either growing or it's static. Now, the 2 subpoints for this is that in follower, the volta, now remember in poetry, the volta just means when there's a change that takes place. So the volta that takes place and the change from him and you to I pronouns suggests that there's been a role reversal, how the focus has shifted from him focusing on his father to just focusing on himself. And it could possibly suggest that as children grow up, they become much more selfish and view themselves as opposed to being admiring their parents. Now, in Climbing My Grandfather, there is a structure of one long stanza, and it has various sentence lengths, which gives a mountainous appearance, and the unbroken, unique structure mimics the nature of their relationship, how it's unbroken, strong, steady, reliable. And with this semantic field of climbing, there is also this sense of there being the final destination, which in this case highlights that there's progression towards getting to know each other more. So now we've looked at that, we've looked at both structures. So you can see that in follower, there's actually been a shift and there has been progression, but instead it's moving away from the relationship and more to himself. Whereas in Climbing My Grandfather, he is reaching a destination where he's getting to know his grandfather more. And that is how it both subtends to the line of argument that the relationships are either static or growing. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching till the end. And if you did find this video helpful, then I'll be doing more videos in this series and more essay plans in subjects like French. So make sure you subscribe to both the Know All for GCSE and Know All for A-Level channel. Thank you for watching and see you soon.